Hey yo, man, what's good YouTube? It's your boy, your host, REXGAWD Dragon Squad. Bitch, back with another reaction. Today we are here, back with Seth the programmer, the man, the myth, the god, the legend. Ultra Instinct Goku versus Six Paths Naruto, bro. This is good. I would never think about this, but I mean, Dragon Ball just shit stomps Naruto's characters in general, so you feel me? It's not even a challenge. But we finna see what Seth talk about though, man. He always surprises me sometimes, but some of the facts he be saying. I'm looking into this jank though, man. Ear 12 spectacles run this home, man. Let's get it, man. I got my apple sauce. I put lead in my apple juice. Walker, when I sit, let's get it, jank. Let's get it though. 720p.
So it's been a while. 2 weeks, in fact, and what better way to make my returning
it has been a long time.
The most toxic and cancerous video imaginable, just like my channel. And for those wondering, I've hinted at this video a few times on Twitter and on Discord, and anytime I merely mention the topic, a flame war ensues. I didn't even really think it was that controversial at first. I thought almost everyone was on the same page with the topic, but what we're talking about here is like Goku versus Superman levels of cancer from every time I just mention the topic. And you're probably going to see that for yourself in the comments section unless I do this video just right. And everyone agrees with me in, you know, my fantasy land, but that's not going to happen. But regardless of that, if you like videos like this, maybe you missed me. Regardless of whether you agree with it or not, hit a like on this video and be sure to pop that bell button so you don't miss my next one. And with that, let's start the debate just for the hell of it. So the rules of this fight are pretty simple. Equal power, speed, and durability. It's a judgment to determine who's the better pound-for-pound fighter, per se.
Goku,
say, for example, if Naruto was just as strong as Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku and had to fight Jiren instead of Goku, would Naruto have done better than Goku in that fight?
Probably.
We'll keep summonings out of the fight, such as Naruto's,
okay, yeah, because if he has summonings, yeah, that's ultimate. that's
that
OP.
adds a bit of convolution. It should also be noted that Naruto's summonings aren't anything compared to he himself anyway, even if we gave Naruto and Goku equal stats. A lot of people then go into this idiosyncratic argument, well, okay, say Naruto and Goku have equal power. Couldn't Goku just go Super Saiyan and just become stronger than Naruto?
Facts.
And while I do plan on talking about Bijou and Six Paths mode versus Super Saiyan as a multiplier in the future, and I've already taled about Kaioken versus Eigeisen, etc., this is missing the point of this video. The point. Who's a better fighter pound for pound. So the best way to go about this is say Six Paths Naruto versus Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku, so that no transformations can be added and nobody gets confused. This is also Goku at his peak in terms of fighting skill, so it'd be somewhat pointless to say
that fight was fire, bro.
God Goku per se. Although we might talk about base Naruto versus base Goku at the end. So let's go over a bit of a skimmed training background here for both of them, and then go over what should happen in the fight. Goku started his training relatively young, almost the second he touched down on Earth almost. His grandpa Gohan began to train him as soon as possible, teaching him discipline, the basis to the Turtle Hermit style, which he would eventually use on the Ox King and Yamcha, as well as the possibility that he also learned the basis of ki control. This is really the only true hand-to-hand combat we really learned of for the most part. From there, Goku is mainly self-taught in hand-to-hand, as his other masters worry more about his hacks or his power level and speed rather than his actual hand-to-hand skill per se, except for Whis. An example, Master Roshi trains Goku's physical body using turtle shells, cardio, the milk training, and giving him a basic education, but you'll realize that Roshi already believes that Goku and Krillin are basically top tiers in terms of fighting. In his fight versus Roshi, Goku was able to adapt and copy numerous of Roshi's combat techniques and change them, like turning Roshi's drunken fist into the monkey fist, learning the after image, and so on. Although, there are some things Goku doesn't learn that Roshi kind of scolds Goku for in the Tournament of Power, where Roshi says they don't rely on their skill enough, and Roshi shows us his moves. In his training with Korin, Goku gets both a power boost from climbing Korin Tower and chasing Korin around for days on end. This ability allows Goku to fight on par with the Crane Master martial artist mercenary Tao Pai Pai, in which Goku is able to dodge attacks by a hair's breadth. Some translations even have Goku saying he's reading the Crane Master by reading his breathing. Although Tao's skill can also be questioned at some points later on, like when Tao threw a hand grenade that was uncooked at Goku. Goku then begins training with Popo and Kami, who teach Goku how to sense ki, and then begin to raise his power level through a series of training almost similar to Roshi style, but more advanced, as stated by Goku. Goku doesn't get much new fighting skills from this, but he does learn to attack while remaining calm, With King Kai, he mainly just raises his power level and learns the Kaioken and Spirit Bomb, which won't really be all too valid in this battle. The Kaioken raises battle power, which is invalid, and the Spirit Bomb, I'm going to explain later why that is not even an option versus Naruto.
Exactly.
He trains for many years after this, for the androids, for Cell, and the 7 years until the Buu Saga. His final training is then with Whis, who tries to teach himself movement, which is personified
Goku
with
looking
Ultra Instinct,
flames,
which
boy.
he mastered in less than 40 minutes,
Looking
whereas
saucy.
gods have been trying to attain this, fighting style for millions of years, with no success whatsoever. Goku's main arsenal includes something like this. Good hand-to-hand combat, pretty much masterful. It can be increased in some areas, so for example, say if Ultra Instinct had precognition, his body would automatically attack his opponent, but would have precognition and counter anything his opponent was about to do before he even did it. That would be an example of how he could get better, so he's just good right now. He has Ki Blast, he can fly, he has all the Kamehamehas and its variants, including like a homing Kamehameha. He has self-movement, Ultra Instinct, instant transmission, and of course, the after-image technique. Naruto's training was pretty similar to Goku at the start. Just learning the basics of hand-to-hand combat and the basis of chakra control he would use for the rest of his life. Albeit, Naruto was pretty bad at using chakra even when trained. He started to master it later on after he left the academy and mastered the Shadow Clone Jutsu using the Forbidden Scroll, and he also mastered it better than almost anybody else in history in a single night. Kakashi then trained him to be good with teamwork, which would be essential to Shadow Clone Jutsu, and to master his chakra use more so that he wouldn't waste so much energy, and that he could learn to enhance his speed, etc. in the tree training scenario after the initial encounter with Zabuza. After this, he had a lot of training with Jiraiya, who taught him how to use Nine Tails chakra and how to summon Sage Toads along with the Rasengan. After his, large-scale battle with Sasuke for the first time, Naruto would begin to hone all of his skills and techniques for over 2 years in preparation for the Akatsuki, one of the most hacked group of skill-based fighters in all of fiction. Not the most, but one of the most, such as Itachi, Pain, and so on. Naruto would then realize he would need much more training to be a match for many Akatsuki members and Sasuke himself after Orochimaru and Sasuke bullied Naruto about still relying on the Nine Tails and still being fodder. This is when Kakashi and Yamato would then teach Naruto how to fully utilize Shadow Clones to train, and when Naruto mastered the Rasen Shuriken. The Rasen Shuriken, for Dragon Ball fans, or for people that don't really know, is basically the equivalent to if Goku mastered a Kamehameha to have like mini Destructo Disc needles like littered throughout it. Then Pain destroyed Naruto's master Jiraiya in a fight, and Naruto would go to learn Sage Arts. That would allow him to use nature energy itself to fight and constantly refill his stamina and chakra. His sensing also became so great that he could literally sense almost everything on the planet at once, regardless of power, and then he learned of the Force Shinobi War. However, this is after Naruto trained with Killer Bee to get a grip of the basics of the Bijou Bomb and Bijou Mode, in which Naruto used his massive skills to pin down a massively more powerful Kurama and steal some of his chakra. This chakra cloak gives him minor regen, the ability to create extra limbs, massive stamina, and the ability to sense intent and emotions, as shown when he catches Zetsu that transform into people perfectly. Later on, Naruto would get the full Bijou cloak, which allows him to create a Kurama avatar around his body that protects him from attacks. He then is given a tad lecture from the Sage of Six Paths and is given Six Paths Sage Mode, which completely changes Naruto as a fighter and made his stamina shoot to absurd, retarded levels. He now has moderate regen, can refill his stamina and chakra by using nature, can seal people, has true-seeking orbs that can obliterate anything on or near his level that doesn't have Six Paths chakra, can sense things that don't even exist on the same plane of existence, and gives him the ability to fly. Overall, it's safe to say that Six Paths mode is absolutely insane, as it gives Naruto a complete understanding of all things around him and gives him unconscious mastery of all of his abilities, as well as danger precognition that he uses numerous times versus Madara, Kaguya, and Sasuke. Naruto's main arsenal of abilities that he would use in a versus battle look a little something like this. Good hand-to-hand combat. It could still be better, like if he had like a Renegon or a Sharingan, his hand-to-hand would be much better.
Exactly, he didn't be a legend. Imagine Naruto with a Sharingan,
The video game say you can make 5,000 by the last, but we'll just say 2,000 just to not use any game material. He can fly, he has Bijou Bombs, Rasen Shuriken, and all the Rasengan variants. Some Rasengans can actually seal the opponent. Minor precognition, insane sensory abilities that allow you to sense people in different planes of existences, true-seeking orbs that obliterate everything that are on your level, Minor to moderate physical regen. There was a scene where Sasuke literally tore out one of Naruto's lungs in his fight with the Chidori, and even just basic QB chakra could heal it almost instantly. Constant stamina recharge spam, like he could make clones that can instantly recharge all his chakra and stamina. And he also has transformation jutsus and tricks he likes to pull all the time, like turning himself into rocks or other objects to catch his opponents off guard. In terms of weaknesses, both have pretty basic weaknesses. Like Goku's weaknesses would include his extreme sense of alien chivalry, will put himself in harm's way for his friends, etc. His guard-lowering weaknesses that people usually meme him for doesn't really exist in Ultra Instinct, although Ultra Instinct leaves a few weaknesses where his body is always forced to react, and he has pretty bad stamina. Naruto's weaknesses are that he would put himself in harm's way for the sake of others, which is no different than Goku, really. Naruto showed this weakness most predominantly versus Momoshiki the first time they fought, where he's like, oh, I can't shoot a Biju bomber, so I'll destroy the whole village. I guess I'll just try to tank it with my bare hands. Onto the fight itself. The battle from here is pretty self-explanatory. Goku's mastered Ultra Instinct gives him a pretty solid edge over Naruto in one-on-one taijutsu, per se, if they were just to sit there and swap hands normally.
Yeah.
Pretty similar to Goku versus Jiren. However, Naruto has fought in people with precognition before, so dealing with Ultra Instinct isn't out of his pay grade. An example of this is when Naruto fights Sasuke, Madara, or Kaguya, all of whom have multi-step precognition that Naruto has to forcefully destroy or create a situation in which it's impossible for the opponent to dodge using their ocular jutsus. So, Ultra Instinct's dodge hack isn't anything he can't deal with for the most part. As I said before as well, Goku's UI forces Goku to move or react to an attack, but it doesn't really recognize that dodging or catching an attack automatically can put him in harm's way. Jiren, who is basically an equal to Goku in terms of power, as shown by the numerous arm struggles or catches they performed, uses this against UI constantly to land numerous attacks.
Yeah.
We also know that Naruto himself also has very good precognition as well as emotion/intent sensing, meaning he's always aware of when Goku is going to attack. This sensory ability also completely negs afterimage as well, as he can sense which is the real afterimage using emotional sensing. This isn't to mention that Naruto can clone himself over 2,000 times with clones that all have around the same power as Naruto himself. A lot of Dragon Ball fans in particular get the misconception that shadow clones won't work, like the multiform in Dragon Ball, where it splits apart the actual attack power and speed of the user. However, this isn't remotely true, and was only suggested in Part 1 of Naruto. Part 1 of Naruto had a lot of statements and theories that get retconned later on in Shippuden, such as Hiruzen, the third Hokage, being a master of every jutsu in the Leaf Village, the stamina of Kakashi Sharingan, the way shadow clones work, and so forth. This is also prevalent when Naruto uses shadow clones versus Madara's limbo clones, in which Madara's limbo clones are all relative to the original Madara, meaning if Naruto really cut his power to a fourth or to less than a thousandth versus Kaguya, these clones would be ineffective. They wouldn't do anything, and when he used his shadow clone to fight the third Raikage, who would be around Naruto's level even without shadow clones, he would have gotten completely decimated. So from here, you have about 2,000 shadow clones versus Goku, all of which have basic precognition and danger awareness, and have fought people with multi-step precognition and dodge hacks before. Naruto has also countered Kaguya's Byakugan and Sharingan, which has pressure point and insta-kill detection in taijutsu, and is able to push her despite her being massively more powerful and one-on-one hacks than he is. The only real saving grace I could give Goku here is that his Saiyan biology would allow him to eventually become slightly stronger or faster than Naruto, but that's ignoring Goku's actual stamina. The difference between Goku and Naruto's stamina is retarded. It's just over.
It's over, man.
Once you learn the actual differences, Goku versus Jiren, for those who don't know or don't remember, was in the final 2 minutes of the Tournament of Power.
Yeah,
and for those who don't know or remember Naruto's stamina, he got his six-path Sage mode at very late night to early morning. He then fought Madara, Kaguya, and then Sasuke almost non-stop until the next night for almost 24 hours straight, which is ignoring all the fights he had prior to that as well. So you can see the war of attrition isn't in Goku's favor at all, even if you somehow said he was slightly better at hand-to-hand combat than Naruto is and ignore all of Naruto's hacks. It's 2 minutes versus almost 24 hours. Naruto versus Sasuke, a hack's rival to Naruto, got a massive power amp versus Naruto as well, and Naruto was able to counter it by absorbing massive amounts of nature energy. So if Goku does somehow get stronger using biology and ignores the entire fight premise, then Naruto can also increase his power as well. You could also argue that Goku can use the Super Kamehameha to try to take out Naruto. However, it should be noted that Naruto would never let Goku even charge the Kamehameha, as
Facts.
Naruto has no chivalry.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Naruto takes any opportunity he can to win a fight, sort of like 17 in the Tournament of Power. An example of this is when Sasuke and Naruto saw Madara remotely hint that he was using a technique or beginning to transform into Kaguya, and Sasuke and Naruto instantly blitzed over to stop him, or how he stopped the Nine Tails before he could launch his Bijou attacks, etc. This should also be counted with the fact that Naruto can neg a Kamehameha anyway using the True Seeking Orbs and Rasen Shuriken spams that also exceed Naruto's own power level by substantial margins. Naruto also has the Kurama avatar that is just as fast as his normal self and can also use shadow clones in which all attacks that hit the avatar don't actually hurt Naruto, kind of like a giant mech suit per se. In the end, Naruto has rivaling hand-to-hand skills. They give Goku a slight advantage, just for everyone in the comments section, with Naruto outnumbering Goku by thousands with far more hacks and versatility.
Yeah.
Many people try to give Goku the benefit of the doubt by saying, well, Goku was able to counter time stop, etc. However, countering time stop required prep.
Yeah.
Jacko had to point out what was actually happening with Hit. Goku didn't figure it out on his own, as well as the fact Goku had to watch Hit fight Vegeta prior, and then Goku deduced that Hit fought in a predictable fashion, which is why Hit held his hands in his pockets. Goku even said he wouldn't have beaten Hit or found out what he was up to if he had to fight in Vegeta's place beforehand. And even from that point forward, Goku had to be forced to power up as much as possible until the time skip just didn't freeze him anymore, which is hardly a skill feat, it's a power feat. Then you have to couple the fact that Naruto has fought way more hacked opponents than Goku, like Madara, Kaguya, and Sasuke, all of which were stronger than Naruto at one point or another, and Naruto could fight all of these opponents going all out for almost 24 hours straight, whereas Goku couldn't even last 2 minutes using Ultra Instinct, barely last 48 minutes against numerous fighters, even while constantly suppressing himself and not having to go all out most of the time. Naruto also does show off advanced hand-to-hand combat, as I stated before, as he has to. He's fighting people with precognition and hand-to-hand mastery and eyes that can read your pretty much every move before you do them. So he performs feint attacks similar to what Goku used on, say, Copy Vegeta. He uses his clones and tricks all to his advantage to catch his opponents off guard and to be unpredictable, which is also similar to Goku. Many people at this point also try to bring up something I like to call the experience fallacy, in which people think that if you surpass someone who has many years of experience, you are somehow a much better fighter than people who haven't beaten people with that many years of experience. However, this isn't how fiction or even real life works a lot of the time. For example, in the Fate Extra series, Robin Hood has been fighting for almost 1,000 years, yet his skills are only mildly advanced and hasn't even surpassed many servants that have nowhere near the experience. Or how Guts from Berserk has gutted people with hundreds of years of experience and then some, but can still lose to someone with not nearly as much experience in a sword fight, like maybe Artorias from Dark Souls or Lancelot from Fate Zero. The same goes from Goku and Naruto. Just because Goku has fought gods that for the most part could sit on their ass or fights Hit who is 1,000 years old, doesn't mean he's by default more skilled than people who haven't fought and people that old or experienced. Like, for instance, Master Roshi still himself says there are many skill-related things that he can handle that he can't rely on Goku and the others to handle, despite Goku fighting many older fighters than Roshi has. I'll break this down with, like, one final analogy. Say, what if Naruto had to fight in Vegeta's position versus Hit?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hit. We'll see you later, my nigga. We'll see you later.
Knows what Hit's ability is. Naruto is in Vegeta's position here. He's just as strong as Vegeta, though. Okay, what would happen here is Naruto's abilities would allow him to take pressure point attacks without even going down. Even base Naruto was able to have all his pressure points tapped by the Byakugan, his body was entirely shut down, and then Kyuubi Chakra just overrode that. Even with pressure points that shut down his entire body, he's still able to function as long as Kyuubi Chakra overrides his pressure points. So all of Hit's attacks wouldn't do any serious damage. Even if Hit attacked Naruto to kill, crush his heart, or even pierce his body completely, Naruto would be able to regenerate that attack. And this is shown with
even with the heart, but that was with the lung. That was with a lung. What if he crushed his heart over his brain? Like,
it's ridiculous. And also,
then it's
Naruto is able to sense
what do you do against that?
A different plane of existence or in a different dimension. So, for example, he's able to sense limbo clones who don't even exist in the same reality. So if Hit goes into his little pocket dimension of time skip, Naruto may very well be able to sense where Hit's at or be able to sense his emotional
What if this slows down time? Then it's like
Hit way harder than Goku or Vegeta could ever actually dream of. Naruto would also be able to catch Hit off guard using many clones. Hit would have to, you know, dictate which clone is which. and it just would not go well for hit. Naruto also has way more stamina, so this is an example of where Naruto would beat hit, but Goku would not beat hit at all. Naruto would slap hit, Goku would not. So that's a good example of an experience fallacy. Another one is, what if you had Goku take Naruto's position in a fight? So let's say, what if Goku took Naruto's position versus Madara? Like, what if it was Goku and Sasuke versus Madara instead of, you know, Naruto and Sasuke? Well, for one, Goku would not be able to handle Limbo.
Yeah.
Would not be able to handle Genjutsu. Madara would basically toy with Goku. Goku would have nothing against Madara. The only thing you could really argue is that maybe if he was an Ultra Instinct, he would have dodge hacks. But from there, all you have to really say, the stamina difference. Once again, Madara has massive regen, way more stamina. Goku cannot land a killing blow against those Truth-Seeking Orbs or anything of the sort. Goku, if he was in Naruto's position, would get shit on. So that's a good example or analogy as well that kind of solidifies my point. I hope you guys understand that one. In the end, Dragon Ball is a show where it's mainly power versus power and maybe some skill on the side, whereas Naruto is mainly skill versus skill with some power on the side.
Yeah.
And that's all that really needs to be said. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. And with that, I'll leave you with one last question that I'll let you all answer. Who wins in your opinion? Base Naruto in the last or base Goku in the Tournament of Power? Equal stats, no transformations. Remember, it's questionable if base Naruto can even fly. Although it should also be noted that flight isn't an instant victory, as King Piccolo and Piccolo Jr. could fly when Goku couldn't in both fights, and that didn't really change the outcome. But I will leave that up to you all, and till next time.
Base Goku. I'm going base Goku. Yeah, without that hack QB power up, that's tough, bro. Yeah, I would say base Goku, but yeah, okay. So basically, Goku Ultra Instinct would get destroyed, but the circumstance would never happen. You wanna know why? Come in closer. Come in closer. I'm gonna tell you guys something. Come in closer. Come on. Why are you still sitting there? Come on, bro. I gotta tell you something, bro. Come on. Dragon Ball Z is light years ahead in power than Naruto, so they would never even be on an equal playing field. You feel me? Goku for the win. You already know. But anyways, man, that's all I say about that though, man. See, man, that's why I fuck with Seth, bro. He be schooling, bro. He be schooling, bro. That's the guy. He be doing the research and he be schooling, bro. Yeah, but post comments and let you guys thought about this though, man. Like if you enjoyed, like if you didn't subscribe. I upload this single day from Fridays and Sundays, and I'm gonna be out this Jank Dragon Squad. Bit signing off that way, Dexter. Yeah, that way. Yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, Goku don't really have those hacks. Yeah, he really don't have those hacks that Naruto does in that form. Hell no. Hell no. Hell no. Damn, that's tough. That's tough.